Welcome to tonight's Faith and Fashion launch party. Before we get started, here are a few things you should know. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the duration of the event. We will be using the Zoom chat box feature to interact with you during the event. We will provide the link to our website in the chat box so you can make donations online. As you make your donations tonight, we invite you to let us know how much you give so we can acknowledge you. If you are writing a check, please make your check payable to the Cory Johnson Program, FIF 2020. Mail your check to Roxbury Presbyterian Church, Social Impact Center, 328 Warren Street, Roxbury, Massachusetts, 02119. Again, we welcome everyone to tonight's Faith and Fashion launch party. So, let's get started.
Hi everybody, my name is Janelle Cummins, and if it's not obvious already, honey, I'm getting ready for a party. Sounds strange during COVID-19? Yeah, well, Faith and Fashion is our annual fundraising event for the Cory Johnson Program for post-traumatic healing. This event happens usually in the fall, but with all that's happening, trauma is a serious problem in our community right now. So for the next hour, you're going to learn about trauma, you're going to learn how our program heals, and you get to meet Melba Moore, legendary singer Melba Moore. So stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to uplift your spirit. We're going to create a healing community. And one way to get this party started is to start dancing with our mask on. Dance with my mask on.
I'ma keep on loving, I'ma keep on dancing, yeah. I won't let nothing stop me from moving. Stop me from grooving. Love always finds ways to keep on winning. Dance with my mask on.
That song is awesome. Let me say that. What a great song. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nick Walker. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you today. You know, in a perfect world, I'd be there with you in person dancing. In fact, in a perfect world, I would have you all over to my Broadway show, Ain't You Proud, and we could dance together. Sadly, the world isn't perfect, but thankfully, I know two people who are working every day to make it better. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I am proud and pleased to introduce the legend, David Joseph, and my mother, Liz Walker.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick Walker. That's my baby. Good evening, everybody. We are so excited that you are here. This is a first of its kind fundraiser for us, the Cory Johnson Program for Post-Traumatic Healing. We're going to tell you a lot more about that program. And tonight, we're raising money for it. So we're glad you're here so that you can give us $5, $500, $5,000. The point is to help a community heal. And we do that at the Cory Johnson Program. We're going to tell you all about it. But first, I want you to hear a voice that you've seen the beauty of. You're going to hear her throughout this hour. Her name is Judelle, and she's the host of this Zoom event. Judelle, are you there?
I'm here, Reverend Liz.
Okay, Judelle, we'll be hearing that voice from here on out. But right now, I want you to meet the visionary behind all of this, my good friend for many, many years, David Joseph. David?
Reverend Liz, you guys are too fabulous. And Nick, I blinged a shirt just for you. Watch this. I could be on America's Got Talent. Watch, I'm a quick change. Boom. Faith and fashion, baby. How is everyone tonight? Reverend Liz, I love you and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud of Faith and Fashion and the Cory Johnson Program. But we've got to say one thing first. Issa Bibbins, the musical director at Roxbury Presbyterian Church, wrote that amazing Dance With My Mask On song that I can't get out of my head, even at 2 in the morning, Issa. And it was sung by his 15-year-old daughter, Marcia Bibbins. So the talent involved in Faith and Fashion is endless, from our production team to everyone at the church to our models. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Reverend Liz tends to give me all the credit for being the visionary of Faith and Fashion, but that's not true. Reverend Liz and I have been friends when her name was just Liz Walker. So, 135th anniversary of Roxbury Presbyterian Church, Reverend Liz asked me if I had an idea to help raise funds for the Cory Johnson Program, a new program being started at the church in the basement, a program that would bring in specialists to help people dealing with trauma. I said, let's do a fashion show. That's what I know how to do. So tonight we're asking you to sit back for the 45 minutes we're going to be here with you, or if I talk forever, it could be an hour, and enjoy what's coming up, enjoy the tears and the laughter that we're going to be presenting to you. Donate. Please donate $5, $50, $500 if you can. No, nothing is too little, and certainly there's nothing too high. If you do donate $2,500 or more, you know I'm a designer, right? Do you all know that? Yeah. Well, I'll be there to design a dress for you or your daughter or a drag queen relative, anybody you want. I'll be there to do it for you. And Danny, my husband over here, say hi. He's managing the chat line. So I want to make sure you guys are on the chat line talking to me, because I'll be back. I'm like, I love that I'm on the chat line. I'm talking directly to you. So join us, sit back, relax. Danny's monitoring the chat lines. And Reverend Liz, I think there's somebody special that you have to introduce next, right?
I have a surprise, my friend David. I have a surprise. You know, we were going to do this event at Fenway Park with the Red Sox, but of course, because they've been good friends and good partners of the Cory Johnson Program, along with some other partners, but of course, COVID stopped that. But we do have someone who is a member of the Red Sox team, who is a legend in his own right. Watch this. Judell?
Hi, Boston. 2020 has been hard for all of us. We need to help each other out more than ever. Please help support my friend Reverend Liz Walker and the Cory Johnson Program for Post-Trauma Healing. Please consider a financial donation. No amount is too small. Together, we can make things happen.
Poppy says so, that it's so. David, can you top that with your guess?
Well, I think we have some spectacular guests coming on. Everyone from the mayor of Boston, Marty, Walsh, to Boston Medical Center President and CEO Kate Walsh, to the executive directors of the community health at Mass General Hospital and Brigham, Kristen Varnicle and Geneva Gordon, and from the First Republic Bank, Chris Wade. Now you put them all together and you get a big poppy out of it all, right? Right? But they're wonderful, wonderful friends of Faith and Fashion, and they are here to speak to us. So take it away, Mayor Marty Walsh.
Hi, this is Boston Mayor Marty Walsh. I'm proud to welcome you to this broadcast, which supports the Cory Johnson Program for Traumatic Healing. I want to thank Reverend Liz Walker for leading this event and for the good work she has done in Boston's communities over several decades. I've known Liz for a long time, and I know how deeply she cares and about empowering Boston's youth and promoting peace as a way of lifting people up. As our city battles the coronavirus pandemic, community resilience is more important than ever. Over the years, the Cory Johnson Program has been an important partner in our work to end the cycles of violence and trauma. It has helped us to create deep bonds throughout Boston's neighborhoods, including youth, families, and clergy. Right now, those connections and that strength are helping us overcome the coronavirus pandemic as well. Supporting the Cory Johnson Program is a great way to get back to the community right now, and I thank everyone who's supporting this incredible organization. Thank you all for tuning in. And remember, we are Boston Strong, and we will get through this difficult time together. Enjoy the program.
Hello, I'm Kate Walsh, president of Boston Medical Center. I'm so happy we have the Cory Johnson Program for Trauma for anyone impacted by violence or trauma. So thank you for tuning in. We all need a safe space to heal, especially when your life is shaken by illness, poverty, or some traumatic event, and never more so than during this coronavirus pandemic. At Boston Medical Center, we deal with serious illness and victims of violence, and we know that the physical assault is only half of it. Reverend Liz Walker has created this program, the Cory Johnson Program for Victims of Trauma, at the Roxbury Presbyterian Church, to provide space and services for spiritual healing. It's non-denominational. It's a place to share, a place to be among others who will help you on the journey to recovery. No virus will stop these services in a virtual space setting until we can all gather in person. So give if you can. Call if you need help. And thank you to all the essential workers who are keeping us all safe. Please call now to support this really important program. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and we're delighted to be here. I'm Geneva Gordon, and I work at Mass General Brigham, formerly known as Partners Healthcare, in the Community Health Department. I initially learned about the Cory Johnson Program for post-traumatic healing through a former colleague who invited me to attend a Thursday night Can We Talk trauma session. At that session, I witnessed what a powerful place of healing and hope the program offered the residents of the Roxbury community. As each person spoke and shared the pain of the trauma that they were experiencing in their lives, they received supportive hugs and words of encouragement from the other participants that were there, going through similar situations. The group acknowledged and appreciated that they were not alone. It surely is a place of comfort.
Geneva, you're so right. My name is Kristen Barnacle, and I'm the Executive Director of Community Health at Mass General Brigham. And I've also had the opportunity to attend a few Can We Talk sessions and have been deeply moved by the love, compassion, and connection that exists in that safe space. The world and all of us in it need that now more than ever. Our organization has partnered with Reverend Liz and the Cory Johnson Program for many years. Geneva and I have gotten involved more recently and so appreciate the incredible work that Reverend Liz, Colleen, Judelle, and Shondell do to support community members dealing with trauma, both through Can We Talk and by providing individual support. We're proud to support this organization, and we encourage anybody who can to donate. And if you need help, contact the program. They'll help you out. They're here for you. Thanks for all you do in Roxbury and everywhere, Reverend Liz.
Hi, I'm Chris Wade. I'm a managing director at First Republic Bank here in Boston. I've known Reverend Liz Walker for many, many years, and I've attended a number of the Cory Johnson Program's fall charity event, Faith and Fashion. But this past fall, I decided I really wanted to make a bigger commitment. So I asked my employer, First Republic, if they would make a substantial donation. And after sharing quite a bit of information about the program with them, they agreed that it was indeed a worthy cause, and the commitment was made. But also because I understand the impact this program has on the community, I too made a commitment. Quite a few months ago, I took a friend of mine, a young man that I've been mentoring for several years now, to a session of Can We Talk, which is part of the program. We sat there, we were part of the community, we listened to the music, we listened to the stories, and not always easy to hear, but they say we all have a story, but when your story involves trauma, you need support, and this program provides that support. In these times of despair, the one thing we can offer is hope, and the one way to offer hope is to make a donation. And I would implore you to do what you can to make a donation to this worthy cause. And God willing, I'll see you at the next charity event of Faith and Fashion. Thank you.
Thank you to all our partners who have been with us through thick and thin, and we couldn't do it without you. And you tonight are our partner, so we want you to know that if you have already donated, we thank you. If you haven't donated, you can do so. But if you have, let us know on the chat line, on the chat room. Just write us a note Tell us who you are so we can give you a shout out. It is so important to build community. Right now, the world seems to be falling apart, but we are the ones who pull it back together just like this, just like what we're doing tonight. So you're very important to be here with us. And again, we thank you from the depths of our heart. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about trauma. You know, everybody's speaking about it right now with all of the civil unrest, the talk about social injustice, the COVID-19. People are traumatized all over this country. Every Thursday night, we invite people from our community, people from all over, to come into the basement of our church and just talk. And we listen and we build community. So we just want to show you a little video of what we do on Thursday nights, and then you're going to hear from one of the people who visit us. Judelle, could you put up the tape?
This kind of has a lot of people on edge.
Come out of sadness.
Welcome to Can We Talk?
A lot of people are dying.
I'm scared.
These are unbelievably difficult times that we're all going through.
I just don't want to feel no pain no more.
If you're having a bad day, you don't have to do it alone.
And this is an open and safe space.
We started the Cory Johnson Program for Post-Traumatic Healing back in 2014 as our church's response to the violence in the community and the fact that people felt helpless.
Since my son was killed, my life is always on high alert.
We think that the whole world's in trauma right now, and people feeling so disconnected need a way to connect. And that's what we try to offer with these conversations online.
I've had a history of addiction.
In 2018, I lost my youngest sister. After losing her, everything just changed. My life changed.
My son was murdered, and I witnessed that.
We decided that maybe there was a need to just release some of the pain and come together in community around that. People in our community who are already traumatized from their own individual issues and systemic issues like racism and poverty and lack of health care now are being hit with this horrible situation.
I need connection. I need people.
I'm counting my blessings today.
It's love, support, consistency, and safety.
We have online conversations during this COVID crisis every Thursday night at 6:30.
You don't have to share. You can just listen, because just listening is so essential to this experience.
Good things come out of hard times.
You can just go on to RoxburyPresbyterianChurch.org and click on the link.
Come find your mercy.
The point is that we are here to listen to you and to talk to you because we need each other right now more than ever before.
I think that it's going to be okay. I really feel that.
Because when I came out here 5 years ago, I was 3,000 miles away from home and I was alone. And I had just recently been through the trauma of losing my stepson, which really changed me in a lot of ways. A lot for the worse, but some for the better, because it gave me, the strength to look at my life and see what my addiction had done to my family, and how I could change my life now and maybe help them to grow and not to be stuck in the trauma that I still feel stuck in. I relived the trauma a lot. My stepson being murdered, but I was intoxicated. I was, my mind wasn't right, and so I wasn't able to properly, I don't know what's the word, to deal with it. I wasn't able to deal with it, and dealing with just keeping the family from imploding was all I could really handle, and I stayed using. But eventually I got clean, and it helped me to know I didn't want to go back there anymore. So coming out here, getting into recovery, and also connecting with the people at Can We Talk has been like a surrogate family for me. And I've been I feel really loved. I feel really connected to the community because we share each other's stories, and we share a lot of joy and creative things, not just the trauma, but share not heartache but joy, as they say. You know, I tell my story because I'm still healing. You know, I need to get a lot of this off my chest. I still relive what happened to my stepson, and if I don't constantly keep myself from disconnecting because of that, I'll go backwards and I won't go forwards. And that's what I'm trying to do now. We need so much support for groups like this because the world ain't getting no better. You know, people are going to always need to heal from the violence that's going on around us. And I think Can We Talk it can really, really help a lot of people and make a lot of people feel at home and not alone. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Everybody be blessed.
Thank you, Prentice. You know, it's so interesting to me. We started this program many, many years ago, and here we are now at a point in history where everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to share, because we are all going through pain. And so this is a moment in real time where you can help, because the donations that we're asking for go directly to the program. It's not about anything else other than serving this community. And since this program started, more than 6,000 people have come into our basement to just share, to listen, to be with each other, to let people know you're not alone. It's not just building a community, it's building a world in a way. It's building a movement. I want you to meet the woman who leads us, a good friend of mine who is also our kind of spiritual guide at the Cory Johnson Program. Colleen Sharka is a mental health clinician, and she's also program director of CJP. And after saying that 50,000 times, Colleen, I think I got it right this time. There is so much trauma in the world today. How do you define healing in the way that we do it at the Cory Johnson Program? Is it possible to heal?
Absolutely. I'm so happy to say absolutely. And it may be helpful to know that we think of trauma healing really as a process rather than a fixed result. And that's really important because we have to name and understand the profound depth and breadth of trauma. We know that in addition to abuse, addiction, community violence, all the different types of losses people go through, that actually African and Caribbean American people experience trauma from racism. And that's something a lot of folks just haven't learned until recently. Systemic racism starts with the legacy of historical trauma from slavery and continues today in present form, embedded in law enforcement, criminal justice, education, employment, housing, and political institutions. And here's the really tough news, that historical trauma can be genetically inherited through generations, impacting families and entire communities, and we need to understand this. This complex and chronic trauma causes physical and mental health illness that actually reduces life expectancy. Imagine the possible healing if, and I'm going to believe when, we dismantle the institutionalized delivery systems, the delivery systems of trauma. Individuals as well as communities can foster healing. That's what we're learning. Connection and empowerment when they take active roles in helping themselves and others heal. And so healing involves learning about and releasing traumatic energy that's held in your body, learning to regulate your emotions, and reconnect your mind, body, and spirit. That's so much of what we do in this program. The Cory Johnson Program offers a safe place, and we found that to be #1 important. It's a safe place to tell the stories that need to be told and to reconnect with others while finding a new sense of meaning and purpose that's lost because of trauma.
Where's my nasal spray? We talk so much now about racial trauma, and the whole world now is trying to fix or correct hundreds of years of racial trauma. And when we talk about that in our Cory Johnson Program, but some people might be intimidated, Colleen, to come because they might say, well, this is only for Black people. Could you explain who comes to our meetings and how the openness of our Thursday night events?
Yes. And so over 5 years, what we've really come to understand is that people are coming and feel comfortable to come to Can We Talk from all neighborhoods of Boston and beyond. We have folks come from the North Shore, the South Shore, neighborhoods outside of Boston. And it's important to understand that trauma comes from the Greek word, the root word of the Greek word, meaning wound. And so when we think about that, that means that we all have wounds of all kinds, no matter who we are and where we come from. And so learning that these traumatic wounds, what we really want people to understand about them, and people do when they come, no matter what their story, is that if you've experienced something that you felt was extremely overwhelming and harmful to you and threatening, that it even overwhelms your capacity to cope and it affects your functioning, that's trauma. And so for people to learn about that in a first-time way, whatever their story, has been really key to this. So this wide and deep definition of trauma that we think needs to be named and told means that people have to understand the various ways trauma and wounding they've experienced and affected their lives. But here's what's interesting. When people can share their story of pain, whoever they are and wherever they come from, and share their story of pain and loss in a safe place, where they're not only heard, but they're received by others, they start to experience some healing. And so we have witnessed people from all walks of life actually meet each other in that pain. And whatever their form of pain is, they can meet somewhere in that. And in that space, in that meeting place, they found a unique and profound way to connect. And so that's been, I think, the real important learning that we've come to understand from doing this program. And we found that the stories of public community trauma need to be told in public community places, which has been really important.
It has been important. It's been a growing experience for all of us, because you would think it would be kind of sad to listen to people's stories, and sometimes it's very difficult. But there's something, the secret sauce, as Colleen says, is that there's something that happens in the listening that brings you closer to that other person and to yourself. So we're humbled and honored to serve our community this way. So we thank you for being here so that you could hear our story. And David, I know that people are chatting and sending donations and sending good thoughts. What have you got? Have you got some great quotes there?
Oh, Reverend Liz.
You gonna cry?
Yeah, you know me. You know me. I'm so proud to be part of this group, to be part of this effort. Okay. I'm just so honored. This is remarkable. I mean, everyone is donating. Everyone is donating. Yolanda, the great Yolanda, is mailing in a donation. Our friends Sheila Jordan, Ken Poirier, Melissa Griegel, brilliant writer friend, Robin Capelli, Nancy Kilburn on our committee, her sister just donated $350. Alex Anita, Father Alex, there's just, I can't read them all. Truly, I can't. Becky Warren, my beautiful friends, I'm just blown away. I don't know what to say. I don't want to cry, but you know me. So I'm going to say thank you. That was very good, Danny. And what I'm going to tell you about is, as we look ahead to this was our 4th Faith and Fashion, our last one. Our 5th one, God willing and pandemic willing, is October 15th. But I have to thank really quickly our amazing sponsors who've already come in with wonderful, wonderful funding for us, from the Red Sox to Delta Dental, Boston Medical Center, the cruise companies, Damon Boston Fund, the English Family Gift Fund. They've all been, whether they be private donations or donations, huge donations through these big companies, they've been remarkable, and they're sponsoring our Faith and Fashion 2020. I've said hello to people in the chat room, but now, guess what I get to do, Reverend Liz?
You're going to take us through Faith and Fashion last year. That's so that we can see that.
Thank you.
But thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
That's why I'm here, baby.
Giselle, you want to show us some clips from last year?
When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it turn you round. Don't let it box you in. And don't let it knock you out. Don't let it steal your joy. And don't let it start to grow. Don't let it turn you cold. You just gotta keep it moving. You just gotta keep it moving. When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. When life gets tough, just keep it moving. Don't give up, just keep it moving. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it turn you round. Don't let it box you in. And don't let it knock you out. Don't let it steal your joy. And don't let it start to grow. Don't let it turn you cold. You just gotta keep it moving. You just gotta keep it moving.
And our beautiful sponsors, thank you to all of them. Like I was saying, faith and fashion. If you said faith and fashion, the next word needs to be love and lifted and being loved, because our audience is black and white, rich and poor, gay and straight, whatever it is. It is a group effort. It is a wonderful audience that comes together to be lifted. It's a community of love. Now, can I do it? Thank you, Reverend Liz. And again, everybody on the chat line, I'm going to get back to you, and thank you for your incredible donations. You guys have been so generous. Okay, it's time for me to introduce my girlfriend. I have lots of girlfriends. However, Miss Melba Moore came into my life in 2019. A mutual friend, Larry Sherman, who's actually on this, watching all of this right now, had seen the work I did for Melissa Manchester, the fabulous singer and Grammy-winning artist. And he had noticed that Melba's manager had put out a notice to New York designers that she needed a fabulous designer to dress her for a Lifetime Achievement Award, because she's a legend, and have something that she would look regal and iconic and fabulous in. So I sent him a note and said, look, I'm not in New York, I'm based in Boston, but I would love to do this. I've been a fan of Melba Moore's for my whole life. I saw her first Broadway show, oh, not her first, but I saw her Tony Award-winning performance in Pearly on Broadway. And they liked me and I liked them, and it all worked out. And this is what we created. And Melba Moore got her Lifetime Achievement Award in January, I believe it was. It was before COVID-19. This picture was taken just before we all went into lockdown. Oh, come on. Now she's just showing off. But Melba is a dear and wonderful friend, and Melba Moore will be there with us on October 15th, God willing and pandemic willing, to sing her heart out from her new CD. Oh my God, I'm blanking out. Her new CD, The Day I Turn to You, which is a gospel, fabulous, raise the roof, beautiful, beautiful CD. So I would like to present to you now Tony Award-winning, Grammy-nominated actress, singer, songwriter, and a woman who fits into our journey here because of her faith and her spirituality. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Melba Moore.
Victory goes and sing till
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Ekore, titi aye ate oro, luago. Ekore, titi aye ate oro, luago.
Got something to sing about, because you see, it wasn't that long ago that African Americans were slaves in this country. It was against the law to read, to write, to vote, to own property, or to get paid for the work that you do. But the spirit of wisdom and the knowledge of the things of God is what has prevailed. So that we can come here in the deep south and lift our voices and sing to earth and heaven and ring, liberty and justice and freedom for all. And saints, keep up the good fight of faith, because Lord knows freedom ain't free. Hallelujah.
Wow. Wow. And I get to call her my friend. How amazing is that incredible woman? That's just a tease, just a taste of what she'll be doing that night on stage. Oh my God, I'm blown away. And listen, like Melba said, freedom ain't free. We need to bring doctors. We need to bring psychiatrists into the Cory Johnson program. We need you to donate. Debbie Adams, my dear friend, thank you for donating. You people have been so generous. I'm so moved. This has been a wonderful, wonderful night. Reverend Liz, did I forget anything?
You were perfect, David, as always. You are still visionary. You are still a legend.
Thank you, Reverend Liz.
David.
Now to you. You go. You do it.
I just want to thank you all again for being with us. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for being our partners. Thank you for being our friends. You can always donate. So if you haven't donated, you can still do it. That's why we're here. But most importantly, we're here to tell you there is still hope. That no matter what's going on in the world, we're going to get out of this. We're going to get through this, and we're going to do it together. I know that because I know some people. I got some connections, and my people say it's going to be all right. So we are just thrilled that you were here with us. I want to say a really quick thank you to Big Papi, to the Red Sox again, to Judelle. Judelle, are you there? We made it. Judelle is my girl. She puts all of this together. To all of those at the Roxbury Presbyterian Church, to Marjorie and Chris, to Colleen, that I could just go on, and Terry, just all of you are just absolutely wonderful to make this program come together. And I want to thank you. And we just think we should end by just kind of sealing the deal about how things are going to get better. So if you will, just take a moment, take a deep breath. No matter what you believe or don't believe, I'm going to pray. Creator, healer, friend, sovereign, we thank you for this time together. We thank you for this moment of hope that just sprouts up in the midst of the darkness. We thank you for everybody who's here with us now, and we thank you for the times to come. As difficult as times are, we know that healing is possible because you said so. And so now as we go out into the world, let us be a little brighter and just a little more hopeful in all that we hold holy. Let the people of God say, amen. Amen. And so we've done it. You've been here, you gave. So all we have to do now is dance with our last song.
Dance with my mask on, and I'ma keep on fighting, I'ma keep on loving, I'ma keep on dancing, yeah. ways to keep on winning.